Oh, there we go. Awesome. So I do have the comments on here. If you could, anybody that's watching, just send a quick comment. That way I can make sure everything's good. We've got audio. There we go. Okay, everything's working. It is good. Good. So I'm gonna copy a couple links here. Sorry, I don't like talking to myself there. I just need to post a couple things here, make sure we get the word around about this exciting race. So, anybody watching, tell me, who are you rooting for? I'm gonna give you a, just kind of a general list here who we have racing. So, we've got Venom, NX, Green, G-Bub, Egon, Chevy, Benjo, Igorski, Marchie Boy, Toxic, and Abdel. And right now, as it stands, Venom is currently leading the series so far, which I'm going to take a look here, with Big Red in second, and then Abdel's third. Now, the points between first and third are separated by about 20. And Josh, good evening, kind sir. It's been a while. Been a while. But right now, I think the battle to watch right now is between third and seventh in this championship. Third, fourth, and fifth are tied at 59 points. Sixth is 2 points behind with 50. Seventh has 53. That is the battle to watch, ladies and gents. And yeah, it is a shame that you couldn't make it, but you know what? Life happens, man. It's all good. All good. No need to worry. No need to fret. And also, you're probably not used to listening to my lovely voice. Normally, Taddy is the one that is commentating in Division 2, or wonderful commentator. She does a fantastic job of, you know, giving race analytics and all of that, you know, fun stuff, I should say. So, I'm going to let the cars do the talking here for a minute. I need to post the link on a couple more sites. So, be right back. Alright, so now that is done, I'm going to give you guys just a quick lap here. Give you kind of a rundown of how this track is going to operate. I normally do this on every video that I stream. That way people get a sense of what folks are dealing with. So we're going to let him go, Egon. So this first section here is tricky because you got this little bit of a U-turn here. You got to keep it tight, and in this Ferrari, it's going to be hard to do so. High speed. You probably take that a little bit faster than I could. I'm a little bit rusty. This section here, you want to keep to the inside. Make sure you go out. And then going down this section here, you want to stay to the very left-hand side. Brake in, cut that apex, throttle on. This section here gets really fun, but it is technical. This right here will be an interesting area in terms of passing. I don't know if we're going to be seeing a lot of overtaking through this sector here. I imagine whoever does is probably going to have balls of steel, to be honest with you. But this right here is going to be one of the prime spots. You're going to be seeing people run 3 wide down this straight into what we call the Big Banky Boy. This turn is just so much fun. You could probably clip that a little bit more. But like I said, this is just a general shakedown. This is to show you viewers of what this track is going to be like. The last few turns here. And then this section is going to be crucial because this is going to determine your exit speed, I should say, because if you nail that turn, I guarantee you will be opening up a gap between you and your fellow competitor. But that is a lap around Autodromo Maggiore. So I'm just going to send a little message here. Ready when... Now, to give you guys kind of a general gist of how this series works for people that are just now following or catching up, this is a 90-minute endurance. The settings are the damage is heavy, so if you get any kind of damage, you have to pit to repair it. Now, here's the big caveat. You're only allowed 1 pit stop to get fuel and tires. So, you're going to see probably in this little area here, a countdown timer. Once that countdown timer hits 48, pit window will be open until it counts down to the 42-minute mark. After that, pit lane is closed except for making repairs. Now, if you do end up pitting twice for fuel or tires, you're given, I believe it's a 1-minute penalty for the race. So drivers are going to be doing everything they can to avoid it. Venom here. Okay, waiting to see if Renegade shows. Okay. Right on. Gosh, I am looking forward to it. You know, it's been a while since I've done any kind of racing on GT Sport. So it is just a great feeling to be back here, commentating at the very least. But looking at these liveries, we'll do a quick livery check here. Abdel going simple with the Ferrari red, with our lovely sponsor, which I do have to thank Design Group for sponsoring this series, sponsoring GT Champions. It's a great company. You guys need to check them out on Facebook. NX Nuke. A little bit of a fun fact for you. He was my rival during the Super Formula Series in RWB. It was always me and him battling it out. And I can tell you, he is a quick driver. Spider Team is one of our OG members back at RWB. Also races in the MRC GTCC League. Someone correct me if I'm wrong there. Oh, Detailing Group. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm sorry, Josh. Detailing Group is like I said, they're a wonderful company, and I do want to thank them for sponsoring us. Benjo and Marchie Boy. Both racers from the land down under. Not sure who Marchie Boy races for. I don't believe I've met him. But I know old Benjo here. Which, yep, there he is. Races for Gridline. Gridline Racing. And I can tell you, he's a great racer. Great guy. And I'm hoping to see a very strong result from him. J-Rod, one of the OG members of RWB as well, also host of Gentleman's Tuesday, sporting a dope livery on that Ferrari. I love it. Spider needs to replace that camera. Not sure what you mean there. But look at that. That is a gorgeous livery. Good lord. Where is it? There it is. Got that nice chrome. And then we have our masterminder. One of the masterminds, I should say, of the World Cup. And that is RWB Venom. He is racing under his moniker Higginbotham Racing. Him and Igorski, just a little bit of a fun fact for you as well. They're both brothers. Both great guys, great racers. I've raced with them for almost 2 years. And they know how to put on a show. Egon, going with the lovely Martini livery. Can never go wrong with that, with Detailing Group logo on the front. Chevy 210 is sporting just a nice, simple, clean livery. It's got that bright, kind of like a fluorescent orange with black stripes. You know, nothing too fancy, but it still stands out. And we've already went through them. Igorski, one of the HBR brothers, and also one of the geniuses behind this wonderful series. Abdel, we've already went over him with the simple livery. And then we got Renegade, Black Dog Racing. Great racer, clean driver, a lot of fun to race with. And it looks like he's racing for a good cause as well, for mental health awareness, so it's a great cause to run. So let's watch here. Let's look at J-Rod. He's just kind of warming up at the moment. Got G-Bub in front of him. which G-Bub is part of the Expendables Racing. He's hoping to get some really good results as well. I think a couple races ago he finished extremely well. I believe he might have nabbed a podium. See if I can get any kind of money shots here. There we go. And Egon already getting a penalty. Might have cut that corner a little too tight. So, if you haven't already, give GT Champions a like on Facebook. We do have a Discord as well, which is in that page also. If you want to join racing this series, I know we got trophies going out to all the winners of both Division 1 and Division 2 at the end. So, you know, it's a little something to race for. And then also be sure to like GT Champions on YouTube. You know, give them a like. Heck, I mean, they are live right now racing Division 1. Like I said, we've got our wonderful commentator by the name of Toddy that is commentating it. She is filling in for Presidio Dog, which he is out for this week. But we should be getting started here pretty soon. Racing 5, so we got about 5 minutes here. And I'm gonna go get a little bit hydrated here. And I'll be right back. Also, if you're watching, leave a comment. You know, say hi, or if you have anything to say about the series, hit me up. I got them showing up on the screen, and I'll be looking out for them. Okay, and I'm back. I can get a little bit of a sip of Red Bull there to wake me up. Oh, lordy. I am excited though. I cannot wait until the lights turn green and we get to running. These drivers are going to be running hard, like I said, especially from 3rd to about 6th or 5th, where they're tied for 3rd place. So, ooh. Looks like Renegade's getting all the little kinks worked out there before the race. But I can't wait. It's going to be fierce. I mean, the guys that we have got to watch out for in this series, which the final's starting. The guys to look out for right now have got to be Venom, Abdel, Chevy, NX, J-Rod, and Egon. And then we also do have a battle. I don't think it's going to happen. Looks like Ice Block is not in. But here we go. First, you got J-Rod, Abdel, Venom, Chevy, NX, Green, Egon, Igorski, Spider, Renegade, Marchie Boy, Toxic, Benjo, and G-Bub lining up. Josh Monfort saying, gonna have to really try to practice a bunch for next week, you and me both. I'm hoping to make a return. I know I don't have a chance to reclaim the championship, but here we go. RWB J-Rod taking the field, and ooh, we got a little bit of bumping here, and we'll just get a look at the gaggle of cars here from the view of Egon, and looks like everybody has made it off okay. Toxic moving into 10th position, but right now we have J-Rod. J-Rod is just in command at the moment. He got a really good start in the beginning. Oh, we got somebody in the grass, but they kept it together. Meanwhile, Abdel taking second. Venom is running third. Egon is getting challenged by, looks like, Chevy for fourth position. So we already have battles going on here this early in the race. Everybody's getting a little bit skittish, wants to get as many positions as possible. Going through the second sector there, everybody in a single file line. Don't see any battles here at the moment, but let's go back here to J-Rod, and I guarantee you we're going to see some two wide racing. And no, everybody's just playing it safe there, but looks like Abdel is challenging for the lead. Abdel's going to take the outside of the S-turn. He's going to get the inside lane there, and he is going to take that position for J-Rod and claim first. So it looks like Abdel may be leading the first lap of the race. But no, J-Rod going deep. He is not going to have it. He said, excuse me, but that is my position. That is what I want. So taking a look here, I got to keep my eyes focused here on this battle for first, because Abdel is just pulling out all the stops already at this early in the race. So lap 1 has officially been completed. J-Rod leading the first lap. Abdel is going to try and outbrake J-Rod going into the first turn, and does it. Oh my gosh. So Abdel now taking first. Meanwhile, I don't think we have anything else going on here at the moment. Just got a whole gaggle of cars. They're all in single file. Now, anybody that's watching, tell me, who are you rooting for to win this race? Let me know in the comments below. Race info. So Abdel is now holding just about a 1 second lead over J-Rod. J-Rod, meanwhile, holding a half-second lead over Venom. Venom is starting to catch up. He's going to be challenging J-Rod for second position. Meanwhile, while those three are battling, we have Chevy and Egon and NX and Spider Team and Green that are going at it. Looks like they're challenging for fourth position. And here we go, our first two-wide battle here between Spider Team and Egon. Who is going to make it? Who's going to take that turn at what we call the Big Banky Boy? We have two wide, two rows. This race is already getting intense. I'm loving it. Loving it. So right now, looks like Spider Team is going in. He's going to take fifth for the moment. And I say for the moment because he has got three other cars right behind him. They are gapped by every bit about maybe 0.7 of a second between 5th and looks to be 8th. So They're just absolutely duking it out. Meanwhile, Venom looks like he is taking second position here. And Josh Bomford saying, I'd say Venom, but that's a points decision. Venom, meanwhile, had to bleed off a penalty. He is losing time to J-Rod now. He was second there for a minute. But now J-Rod's got about, I'd say about a 7 or 8 tenths of a second lead over Venom. Abdel, meanwhile, is taking full advantage of that battle for second. And he is now pulled away from J-Rod and is now 3.8 seconds ahead. Looks to be gaining, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see a 4-second gap between first and second. Spider Team, meanwhile, looks like he has broke away from the pack, and he is now going to be challenging Chevy for 4th position. Egon has got a good gap. Yeah, Josh Mofford saying, there's my people. Great battles in that midfield. Let me tell you, like, I am pumped right now. We're only 3 laps in. Whoa, what happened to Egon there? He got a... that is not where you go, and that is not where you want to take a Ferrari. Let me just tell you that. Now, Green, meanwhile, is now challenging Egon for 6th position. Let's see if there's going to be anything going on here. Nuke looked like he was taking a defensive maneuver there against G-Bub. So we're looking, we got views behind Egon here, and good God, I'm loving it. So let's ride on board with Nuke here, see what he's got going on. He is right up Green's rear. Is he gonna try and outbrake him going into this turn? And looks like he's going to try to, but is it going to work? He's pushing Green there out right by the strips. But now we've got almost 3 wide going into the last turn to finish out lap 3. So let's take a look here. Whole gaggle of cars. We're going 2 wide, maybe going 3 wide. Who knows? Let's look. So almost 3 wide. Gets a little bit of a bump there for G-Bub. G-Bub's gonna try to sneak it through the inside, and he does it. Makes a beautiful pass on NX for 7th position. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the field here. Abdel taking full advantage of having that gap. He is now 5.2 seconds ahead of J-Rod. J-Rod, meanwhile, he's got about a 1.2 second gap over Venom. Looks like it's kind of fluctuating in a bit. He's now starting to lose Venom heading into this in the middle of the second sector here. So everybody's starting to spread out. Chevy still has Spider Team hot on his heels. Spider Team is looking to make some kind of maneuver around Chevy. G-Bub. This is the battle right here, though, folks. We got 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, all in contention. And look at that. I mean, what do we got going on here? What? Spider Team is ghosted out, so now we have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars that are going to be battling for 5th position here. G-Bub is about 6/10 of a second away from NX. NX, meanwhile, he's about 5/10 ahead of Green. Green's about 5/10 ahead of Spider. Spider is neck and neck with Egon. Egon is trying to make the overtake here. Going to the inside, but Spider Team taking a very defensive maneuver. Worked out great for him. So now we have Igorski that has decided he wants to come and join. He wants to see what all the action's about. He is gaining on Egon and is using Egon's draft to hopefully make a move here going into the first turn. They hook up there a little bit. Nothing too terrible. Looked like just a case of trading paint. Igorski gets wide. Egon, meanwhile, has got to try and defend his position there. Ooh, taps Igorski. Igorski gets it to the grass a little bit. Egon is doing a great job of holding that inside line, preventing Igorski from making any kind of moves. Meanwhile, we do want to give some love here to our folks in the back. Marchie Boy just putting along as well as Toxic Bacon of High Free, Renegade, and Benjo. Looked like Benjo may have had an issue in the beginning. He has dropped back. He's now 1 minute and 12 behind the leader. That seems to be the case. So, looking at it here, I'm liking the HDR livery. Yeah, that is a gorgeous looking livery. I love it. So while everybody was duking it out from about 6 to 10, G-Bub is now pulled away from NX. He is now 2.4 seconds ahead of him. Chevy, meanwhile, is ahead of G-Bub by about 1.4, so things are starting to kind of settle down. Never mind. We have Green here trying to make a move on NX. What's going to happen? NX taking very defensive maneuvers there, covering the inside line, as you should. And it looks like Green's not going to be able to get it done. Now we do have Spider Team that's in the back. That is chomping at the bit. He wants to get back up into 6th position. Spider Team looks like it's gonna get a run on Green. Is it gonna happen? Oh, let's take a look here. Going to the inside. Green defends it. Spider Team trying to look for any and all ways to get past Green for 7th position. Now we have Igorski and Egon that are battling. Egon taking the inside line. Trying to get a run on Igorski. Is it going to work? It is not, but Egon's going to tuck right behind Igorski. Maybe push him. Get a little bit of a draft on him. But it looks to be too little too late. Heading into the beginning of the 2nd sector. So I'm going to take a quick look here at our leaders. So Abdel 7.4 seconds ahead. J-Rod, the lead got cut down to about 1 second ahead of Venom. But now we have a position change here that I completely missed. G-Bub is now taking the 4th position away from Chevy. Chevy looks to hopefully be challenging and showing G-Bub what it's all about. Whew. Now we have Green and Spider. Spider's trying to make a move on Green. Looked like he successfully made the pass, so he's going to be in 7th position, but now he has to chase down NX, aka Nuke, is what our good friend Taddy would call him. So it looked like something happened there between G-Bub and Chevy, because they are now separated by about 1.5, 1.6 seconds. And it looks like something happened to J-Rod and Venom as well. J-Rod is now pulled away from Venom. He is now 1.7 seconds ahead of Venom. Josh saying Bub on the sauce, I'm guessing. Well, I don't know. I don't know. See, I'm kind of debating on whether to put on these tire models. I might do that if I start to run out of commentary or things to talk about. And as much as I love commentating, I am kind of an introvert. Now I'm looking at the maps here, and we got something going on. I could have swore we had something going on. That would be the position for 12th by Toxic Bacon and Renegade. So it looks like Renegade is catching up to Toxic Bacon here. It was about a 0.6 of a second gap, now dwindling down to 0.2 of a second Renegade going on the outside, hoping to make a run on Toxic Bacon. What's he gonna do? He is gonna go on the outside. He is gonna try and attempt to pass Toxic Bacon. Heading into these fine little turns here. And gets the job done. Good job, Renegade. Good job. Abdel is just walking away at the moment. And some people might be saying, yeah, well, he's going to win. He's going to just bring it home. Folks, we got an hour and 15 minutes left. Anything can happen. But I'm not going to say anything. I don't want commentators cursed, and I don't want angry racers with pitchforks arriving at my door or the apartment. And, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So now, we got another battle. Battle for 6 between Spider Team, NX, and Green. Spider Team looked like he had chased down NX, passed him from 6th position. And obviously they're not going to have it. Green is trying to seize the opportunity. He's going to try and get past NX. So let's see what happens here. Going around the second turn. Spider Team gets a good exit. He's about 9/10 of a second away from NX. NX, meanwhile, is about 5/10 of a second ahead of Green, which Green is clearly in that slipstream range. I think slipstream stops when you're about 7/10 of a second ahead of your opponent or behind. So that's just a rough estimate. That's just from what I remember. Looking at it here, okay, so they're going to keep battling. Egon and Igorski, they're separated by about a second. Igorski looks to be gaining on Egon, just little by little, though. Green, meanwhile, has dropped back to about 9/10 of a second away from NX. NX, meanwhile, he's dropped back to about 7/10 of a second away from Spider Team. So Spider Team is starting to walk away here, just little by little. Josh corrected me there, 0.750 seconds. That's what I thought, but I could have swore they changed it with like a recent update. So thanks for correcting me on that. So I'm just going to stay focused here on this battle between 6th, 7th, and 8th, 3/4 of a second, yeah. Because NX is gaining on Spider Team going into the last turn. I wonder if NX is going to get that run he needs to pass him, or maybe set up an overtake there going into the first turn. Maybe try to outbrake him, or maybe force Spider Team to use the outside line. And looks like he's just going to be a hair too far from Spider. Okay. So meanwhile, I wonder what's going on between first or second and third. Oh, the gap's widened even more. Now we got a battle for third between Venom and G-Bug. G-Bug got a little bit into the grass there, lost just about a couple tenths of a second from Venom, but he is quickly gaining. So to kind of build on Josh's theory there, I think G-Bug might be on the softs, and everybody's running mediums. He is making up a tremendous amount of time. I believe he started in the rear at the beginning of the race, and look at him now. He is battling for third. So going into this long straight here before the Big Bank Boy, I wonder if he's going to try and get a run on Venom. So heading into the turn, going to try and cut in, and will it work? He got a good run out of it. But he's just going to stay tucked in behind Venom. Doesn't want to make any harsh decisions or harsh moves going into those S's and going into these last sets of turns. G-Bug is showing some racecraft here, and it's nice to see. G-Bub gonna go to the inside line, gonna try and pass Venom. They're gonna go too wide going into the front straight here before the start finish. What is gonna happen? And is he gonna outbrake Venom? He is. Takes the inside line. He's gonna cover the inside line going into the second turn as well, and he's got it done. His next victim is gonna be J-Rod. J-Rod is the master of saving tires, saving fuel. He can make that car run just as fast as somebody who's got the pedal down to the floor and jerking the steering wheel left, right, tearing their fuel and tire wear up. So it looks like he is approaching lap traffic, went past, looks to be Benjo. So Benjo's going to be getting lap cleared by G-Bub and Venom here shortly. Meanwhile, Abdel's still maintaining a healthy lead of about 8.3 seconds. Let's head back to our, what was a battle for 6, now has widened significantly. Okay, so things look to be calming down. Egon is still trying to chase Green. Right on. Okay, so Venom is now on a warpath. He is trying to get past G-Bub for third. Whew. Got so much action in the beginning. I was loving it. Loving it, y'all. And look at these money shots of these cars. G-Bub's sitting there flashing his lights. That just might be something to do with the controller turning too hard, clicking that left thumbstick, toggling the lights. But I mean, G-Bub, he gains, he widens the gap from the last turn all the way through this little section that they went through. But it looks to me like Venom's got him after, what's that, first, second, probably about the third and fourth sector. In the middle of the fourth sector is when Venom seems to catch G-Bub. So it makes me wonder if they are on, or G-Bub is on soft tires versus everyone else running mediums. But that begs the question of this guy. What's he running? Is he running softs? Is he running mediums? I don't know. You, the viewers, don't know. And that's what's going to make this pretty exciting. Abdel, meanwhile, his lead has dropped. He is now 7 seconds ahead of J-Rod. He was about 8.5 seconds a lap before. So I don't know if maybe he had spun out or, you know, car got a little bit squirrely on him, or he's trying to conserve fuel. But I'm looking through. Ooh, Gorski getting a little slidey. And gaps are widening. So right now, the only real battle we have at the moment is between Venom and G-Bub. And that is for that third spot. Now, don't ever underestimate Venom. I've raced with him for 2 years. We both started, I think, about the same time. And we were always the one battling each other. Even when we went to SFR, we were constantly battling. Always put on a show. In the beginning, we always wrecked each other. And Josh saying Abdel has had issues with fuel management. You know, I've noticed that. I noticed that in the, what was it? I think it was the first race he ran out of fuel. Second race, he won, but he ran that car to the ground. Like, there were times when I was battling J-Rod or Venom, I'm looking up, I've seen Abdel pit with like 0 liters of fuel. Wondering how in the world did he make it? And that's where J-Rod comes into play, because J-Rod, like I say, he can conserve his fuel, he can manage his tires. That could very well help him win the race in the end, but we're not going to know until about an hour and 5 minutes from now. Let's just go in a cockpit view of Venom here. Let's see what his movements are, what he's trying to do. It looks like he's trying to follow G-Bub, heading into the Big Banky Boy. It looked like he started to gain a little bit of time on G-Bub there. Gets a good run heading into the S's. Takes the inside. Takes the inside. Good work. And he's gonna try to make up some time. That's where he's got G-Bub. He's outbraking G-Bub on those last sets of turns, and Venom is gonna try an overtake. He's gonna be on the inside line heading into the final turn. Is he gonna get the job done? He will get the job done, but I don't think G-Bub's gonna let him pass him so easily, to say. So we're taking a look here. G-Bub is all over Venom's rear end. Venom, meanwhile, takes that inside line. That's going to give him a little bit of a cushion between himself and G-Bub. NX is pitting. Wonder what for. Wonder if he had an incident. Let's take a look. So he's going. The car is getting repaired. You hate to see it. But, like I said, still got just over an hour to go until the race ends. But this battle here is something else. Going into the S's there. Okay. Venom looks to be widening that gap between himself and G-Bub. So, not sure what's going on here, but I can see G-Bub coming back and challenging Venom for that third position. Now, the one thing I am using here is my mini-map, because I get to see if there's battles like this. So now we got a battle for 8th position between Green and Igorski. Heading into the Big Banky Boy, Igorski's going to try and outbreak Green, and makes a beautiful pass on him. Gets a good run. Still about 3/10 ahead of Green, but he's got it done. He's got that pass made. So now it's up to him to defend his position and maintain 8th. What a move. What a move, folks. Heading into the final corner here, looks like Igorski took that turn on pretty well versus Green. He is now about 8/10. Green pitting. Must have damage. Let's take a look here. That's going to allow NX to pass him, as well as Marchie Boy and maybe Renegade. We're going to take a look here and see what happens. Making repairs. Renegade is going to pass him. So Green is now dropped down to 12th position. So Igorski now has a pretty sizable lead over NX, which is about 9.2 seconds. Meanwhile, these two folks are still fighting. And they are duking it out. G-Bub getting a really good run on Venom. And is closing that gap. What is G-Bub going to do? Is he going to try and outbreak Venom? No, he is not. He's going to stay tucked in behind Venom, maybe to conserve fuel. I'm not sure. Heading into the S's. Looks like G-Bub is now kind of playing it safe. Maybe trying to pressure Venom into making a mistake. You know, keeping that pressure on. And just letting Venom know, hey, I'm here, and I want third. But right now, it looks like Venom is doing great under that pressure. He is not letting it get to him. It's not really causing him to make a lot of mistakes. Venom getting a gorgeous run off of that last turn. He is now 0.7 of a second ahead of G-Bub. Venom's ahead of G-Bub. So while this battle's been fun and all, in reality it is hurting these two because this man, J-Rod, is now 8 seconds ahead of Venom and has now closed the gap, or brought the gap down to Abdel to about 4.2 seconds. So Abdel had that gigantic lead in the beginning of almost 9 or 10 seconds and has now been brought down to just about 4 seconds between himself and J-Rod. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that, and if we have anything developing such as a battle, I'll be sure to get to it. But these guys are the ones to watch at the moment, because they do not know when to stop fighting. It is hurting them because that gap is now just about 9 seconds between Venom and J-Rod. Going in here, looks like Venom's gonna cover that outside lane, dive into the apex there, clip it, good. Heading into the S's, G-Bub's still hot on Venom's heels. And while they're still battling, let's check for any kind of duels. Looks like Igorski's got a penalty. He'll probably bleed it off here in this turn. Yep. I'm not seeing a whole lot going on, but J-Rod has now brought that gap down to Abdel to 3.3 seconds. So it looks to be on average, J-Rod is gaining about 0.8 of a second on Abdel every lap. So I would estimate probably within the next 3 or 4 laps, he's going to be knocking on Abdel's door. But what's going to make it interesting is we have about 9.5 minutes until pit lane opens. So I'm curious to see what Abdel's strategy is going to be, as well as J-Rod's. Venom and G-Bub still at it. This is the battle to watch at the moment. Heading into the straight before the big banky boy. G-Bub has got a wonderful run on Venom. Just now 0.2 of a second, still in that draft. What is G-Bub going to do? He's going to have to make a pass. He can't sit there and keep tucked in behind Venom. If I was G-Bub in this situation, I would be looking at a way to overtake. Because if I know that I'm faster than the guy ahead of me, I'm going to make sure I overtake him and gap him. Especially when we got the pit lane opening up in just about 8.5 minutes, or just less than 8.5 minutes from now. Especially if you're on softs. If G-Bub is on soft, Venom's on mediums, G-Bub's going to have a hard time trying to keep up with Venom. So, like I said, G-Bub, man, I would make that move. Make that move and leave them. G-Bug still tucking in behind Venom. Everybody's got a pretty sizable gap here. We do have a battle for 10th between Marchie Boy and Renegade. Nothing too crazy at the moment. It sounds to me like Marchie Boy is kind of over-revving his engine there. But you know what? He's getting the job done. The gap has increased to about 1.2 seconds. Toxic Bacon just running the best he can at the moment for High Pre. High Pre is another really good racing community as well. I do want to give a shout out to them. One of their folks by the name of Pixteca. He is the dude. Ooh, Toxic hitting the wall. Overshot the first turn. Not a good sight to see. But one of High Pre's members, Pixteca, is responsible for the graphics that we use when Presidio is streaming. And is responsible for the graphics used for our point system, our standings. So, huge thanks to Pixteca for stepping in and making those awesome graphics. Benjo, meanwhile, it's just not his race at the moment. He is over 4 minutes behind first place. Looks to be getting lapped, and ooh, it was a good thing I switched to that camera view. Ooh, excuse me, folks. So, good thing I switched to first, because now we have a battle for the lead between Abdel and J-Rod. J-Rod is on Abdel's heels. Let's right on the roof here of Abdel's car. J-Rod is just chomping at the bit. He is trying to get ahead of Abdel here. Is he going to make any kind of moves? I don't think he is. Probably going to tuck in. Ooh, gets a little wide. But he might tuck in here with this straight if he gets a good enough run, which looks like he's not. Could have probably made a pass there coming up to this lovely turn. And look at how how much of a lane that turn is. Abdel, though, he realizes he may be in a little bit of trouble there, so he's going to be maintaining his fuel, trying to get as much power as he can out of that Group 4 Ferrari. And then Venom and G-Bug still going at it. J-Rod has ghosted for some reason. I don't see any kind of penalties. But he had got a really good run off of that last corner, heading into the first turn on Maggiore. Which now the gap has widened to about 1.3 seconds. But can J-Rod at least get on Abdel's heels and make that pass, especially going in, you know, just about 3.5 minutes until pit lane opens. And he's closed that gap to about 0.8 of a second to Abdel. What is he gonna do? What's he gonna try? Gets a good run off of that corner. Heading into this little twisted turn section. inside, inside. Is he gonna run it as wide as he did before? He is not. Abdel gets a little bit into the grass. J-Rod getting a really good run there. He is now 0.5 of a second back from Abdel. 0.4, 0.3. What is Abdel gonna do? Abdel is gonna go to the inside line, try to defend his position. J-Rod is right on Abdel's bumper. And looking at it here, J-Rod just kind of hunting him down, trying to expose Abdel, trying to get past him. What's going to happen? What is going to happen? J-Rod trying to outbreak him. Abdel defends the inside line. Going into the second to last turn, Abdel still defending. He is holding on for dear life here, heading just into the 50-minute mark remaining on the race. J-Rod got a wonderful run off of that last turn. Using Abdel's draft, he is now gaining speed, less than 1/10 of a second. We are now 2 wide going into this first turn. What is J-Rod going to do? He's going to tuck right back in behind Abdel. Guess he must have thought it was a little bit too risky to make that kind of turn later in the race. Abdel catching a little bit of grass there. Not going to hurt him too bad. But look at J-Rod. He is doing everything he can to make that pass. Heading into turn 3, we might have a position change. So let's ride along with J-Rod here. I'm going to get on the roof cam again. That way we can see if we got any good passes going on. J-Rod's going to go to the inside. Gets a great run. And is now going to attempt to pass Abdel heading into these sections. They hit. And can't get it done just yet. But if I'm J-Rod, I would be setting this overtake up here. Coming up to Big Banky Boy after this straight. Use Abdel's draft. Get past him. And that is exactly what he's going to try and do. He is now side by side heading into the Big Banky Boy. He's going to have the inside line. Coming up to the turn, what's he gonna do? He's gonna take the inside. Little bit of a touch there. 20 seconds until pit lane opens. So before that, let's take a look, see what's going on here. So, Abdel running softs, about out of gas. J-Rod running mediums, quarter tank of gas left. This is looking great for J-Rod at the moment, because pit lane is now open. Abdel does not have a choice but to pit this lap. J-Rod can go longer if he wants to. So I think at this point, J-Rod's maybe just toying with Abdel, trying to get him to pit. Pulls a little bit of a sneaky there. Venom was on the mediums. G-Bub into the grass and hits the dirt. Oh no. He lost some time on that one. So, looks like Chevy had mediums, Abdel had softs, Spider Team had softs, Egon had mediums, Igorski had mediums, NX had mediums, Renegade soft, Marchy Boy medium, and medium. So Abdel's going to come out in third. He's going to be running the medium tires, full tank of gas. This is probably looking really good for J-Rod and Venom. Hopefully they're not watching this stream, because if they are, I bet you they're both smiling from ear to ear after hearing this information. So Venom has way less gas than J-Rod. J-Rod's just got less than a quarter of a tank. Venom's probably running at about 1/8 of a tank. So he's going to have to pit this lap. J-Rod, I'm not sure what he's going to do or what his intentions are. Abdel is now 23 seconds back from Venom. 33 seconds back from J-Rod. Igorski has now climbed up into fourth, but he's going to probably have to pit after this lap. G-Bub, meanwhile, running in fifth with a fresh set of medium tires and full tank of gas. Full tank of gas. Chevy, meanwhile, has got fresh, soft tires and a full tank. Spider Team is going to be running mediums from now on. Green running mediums, Egon running soft, NX running soft. Renegade has got mediums on, Marchie soft. Toxic's probably going to go to soft, as well as Benjo. Benjo has went to soft. J-Rod coming into pit. Venom, let's see what he's going to do. Is he going to try? Ooh, he's going to try and go one more lap. That's going to make it interesting. J-Rod just now getting into the pits, getting his tires sorted out, fuel, which, I mean, he could probably fill it up to about 3/4 and be fine the rest of the race, just over 3/4. Abdel, meanwhile, coming up into the front straight, and is going to pass J-Rod for second. I don't think that's going to last, but you never know. J-Rod coming out of the pit into the first turn, so now they're back together, hooked up, and ready to race. J-Rod holding a 1 second lead over Abdel. Igorski coming into pit. He does have a penalty. He's got to bleed off as well, but that allows G-Bub and Chevy to pass him, both respectively in 4th and 5th position. G-Bub and Chevy are about a second apart from each other, though Chevy is starting to gain on G-Bub, probably due to the soft tires that Chevy has versus G-Bub, which is running mediums. So that gap is now went down to half a second. Let's see what's going to happen here. We got someone that exited the race. Sorry about that, folks. I just saw that in the mini-map. G-Bub just gave that position to Chevy on a silver platter. I don't know what the heck happened there. Right now, I don't see any kind of gaps here. We do have Renegade and Marchie Boy. Looks like they're going to be battling here in just a few. Renegade is on mediums while Marchie Boy is on softs. So Marchie Boy clearly going to have the advantage there over Renegade, especially at this early of the second half of the race. So let's take a gander, shall we? So 5.5, 0.4. Yep, and our leader, Venom, has went into pit. He's going to be going to the soft tires. And Marchie Boy is going to try and make that pass there on Renegade. Heading into the middle of the second sector there, Venom has now dropped down to 3rd in the midst of his pit stop. He's going to have to work if he wants to win that race. Meanwhile, Marchie Boy is getting a good run off of that last turn there, heading into the straight before Big Bank Boy, running about 4/10 behind Renegade. Meanwhile, Renegade has now pulled away. He's got about 7/10 of a second lead over Marchie. Now, what I'm curious about, so Chevy and G-Bub are now battling. J-Rod is now pulling away. He has got a 3.8 second gap over Abdel, who has been leading the first half of the race. And he's just, after switching to the mediums, it's a whole different world with this car. The car, I imagine, is going to be a lot looser. It's going to be harder to control. Venom, meanwhile, he is now 11 seconds back from Abdel. He's going to have to work hard to get that second spot, especially that first spot. Chevy and G-Bub are now battling it out for 4th position. Let's head back here and see what happened to Renegade and Marchie Boy. So, Marchie Boy is still chasing Renegade for that 10th position. Heading into the 3rd turn. But I tell you, Marchie Boy's all over Renegade's rear. Let's see what's going to happen. Alright, so Renegade clearly had the better run there, heading into the beginning of the second sector. But Marchie Boy is able to brake later versus Renegade, allowing him to close that gap to 10th position. They're still going. G-Bub has now dropped back to about 0.8 of a second. Now 1.1 seconds, 1.2. Probably about 1.4 seconds behind Chevy at the moment. Venom, meanwhile, has cut the time there, looks like by about roughly 2 seconds to Abdel. So he is now 9.8 seconds away from second place. J-Rod just pulling away. And looks to be on a purple lap, so purple lap meaning that's going to be the fastest lap of the race. He's now 5.3 seconds ahead of Abdel. Now, if you take a look at the fuel differences, this is where it gets interesting. Because if you look at J-Rod, he pit, looks like about lap 21, so about a few laps ago. He's still got about 7/8 of a tank. Abdel is almost at 3/4. Venom doing a really good job there. He's at, gosh, he's over 7/8 of a tank. Chevy, G-Bub, they got about the same amount of fuel. Chevy's just got a oh-so-slight edge over G-Bub. Nothing to really write home about. Marchie Boy, meanwhile, still all over Renegade's rear, and he has a lot more fuel than Renegade. But maybe I should stop talking about that. Heading into the inside, Marchie Boy gets it done. Shows Renegade how it's done, but Renegade ain't gonna give up without a fight. Renegade looking for other ways to try and maybe pass Marchie Boy, but Marchie Boy's just not having it at the moment. So right now, Renegade trying to do everything and anything he can to get past Marchie Boy. What's he gonna do? Marchie Boy defending that inside line against Renegade. Renegade getting a really good run though off of that turn. And is he gonna try to sneak his way in? They're gonna go too wide, it looks like, through the S's. Nope, doesn't look like it, but still, it's making for some good racing. So let's see where we're at here. J-Rod is now widening the gap to 6 seconds. Venom has closed the gap to Abdel. He is now 8.5 seconds back. Abdel, though, he's pushing that car a little hard. Just looking at stats here, it looks like he's pushing. He's a very fast driver. But I tell you, if he can get his fuel management and tire management together, he would be a dangerous, even more dangerous racer than he is now. And I mean dangerous in a good way. I don't mean the kind that punts people and, you know, yeets the car around the track. But dangerous as in, he is a formidable opponent. So Chevy and G-Bub, that battle has now ended. It looks like we're about 2.8 second gap between 4th and 5th. Spider Team, Egon. I think that one is one we're going to have to watch here because Spider Team is running mediums versus Egon, who's running softs. And Marchie Boy is now widening that gap significantly to Renegade. Marchie Boy is now 3.4 seconds ahead of Renegade. So what I'm gonna do here for the next few minutes, let's just listen to the sound of this beautiful Ferrari motors racing around the track. Okay, I'm back. So, looking through here, we don't have a lot of battles going on. I think Benja there, he's just tapped out at the moment. It just wasn't his race today, unfortunately, but that happens to everybody. So, J-Rod has now opened up the gap to Abdel by 10.5 seconds and climbing. And Venom is closing the gap to Abdel, is now 4.2 seconds back with 32 minutes remaining in the race. So Venom is now ahead of Chevy by 8.2. Chevy is ahead of G-Bub by 4.3. G-Bub's ahead of Spider Team by 22 seconds. Spider Team is now ahead of Egon by 1.4. And what did I tell you? That battle's going to be heating up here within the next lap or two. Have to keep an eye on them and see if we got ourselves a duel. Egon is ahead of Igorski by 7.7 seconds. Igorski is ahead of NX by 4.3. NX is ahead of Marcher Boy by 25 seconds. Marcher Boy is ahead of his teammate Renegade by 1.6. And Renegade's ahead of Green by 3.6 seconds. Green's ahead of Toxic by 39.7. Toxic is ahead of Benjo probably by about 2 laps roughly, judging by the gap. This man here, what did I tell you guys? He is a master of conserving his tires and fuel, and is just showing everybody how it's done at the moment. He is now 11.7 seconds ahead of Abdel. And Venom has now dropped the lead even farther to Abdel. He's now 3.1 seconds back. And his tire situation is so much better, as well as his fuel. He's going to have plenty of fuel to make it to the end of the race. I believe Abdel will probably make it to the end on fuel, but you never know. So not a whole lot to talk about here at the moment. We're just waiting for some battles to form. Speaking of which, Spider Team, Egon, they're now battling it out, coming out of the Big Banky Boy into the S's. Egon is looking to try and make a move there on Spider. Egon so far has the upper hand with the softer tires, gets more traction, more grip. He can take those turns a heck of a lot faster than Spider Team. Egon going into the inside, Spider Team doing a great job defending the inside line, making sure he does not give that position away. And Egon is just kind of chilling. Is he going to get a good run off of this last turn here, heading into the front straight? Gets a pretty good run. Still gaining on Spider Team little by little, though. Not enough to make an overtake here within these first couple of turns. Egon goes a little bit wide there. That's going to give Spider Team the cushion that he needs. About 0.6 of a second gap versus about 0.3 in the middle of that last sector. So heading in, Egon is going to be getting a heck of a run off a Spider Team. What's he going to do? Is he going to outbrake? He takes the inside line. Is he going to make it stick? No, he's not. He is in the grass, allowing Spider Team to take back 6th position. Let's take a quick look here. Venom and Abdel, it is now 1.1 seconds between them two, so we're going to have to keep an eye on them as well. So Spider Team, Egon still battling it out. Now we have Abdel and Venom battle for 2nd position. Starting to heat up here. Heading into the last turn before the front straight. So heading in here is Venom going to get a good run. And looks like he is. He is gaining on Abdel. The gap is now going to be just over a second. It's remaining pretty stagnant here at the moment. So heading into the 2nd turn, we are now 1.022, 1.006. We are now within a second between Abdel and Venom in the battle for 2nd place. So it's now 0.8 of a second gap here. And let me tell you, I bet Abdel is feeling all of the pressure at the moment. I mean, he has got that HBR machine hunting him down. And I bet Venom is chomping at the bits. His mouth is drooling, trying to get past Abdel for that 2nd spot. So heading into the straight before the Big Banky Boy, Venom gets a really good run there. We are now 0.3 of a second gap. It is now dwindling down to 0.2 of a second, 1/10 of a second. Venom gonna go on the outside, gonna try and outbrake Abdel. Is it gonna work? It is not. Abdel successfully defending that line, coming out of the Big Banky Boy into the S's. And let's see. Oh God. Oh Lord. Venom heading into the last set of turns here, and we'll go to Venom's view here, and heading into the last parts of the track here. Last turn. Is Venom going to get that run that he needs to set up an overtake going into the first turn? He is right on Abdel's heels. He is going to get off to the side. And we are now going to go too wide going into the first turn. Is Venom going to outbrake Abdel? Ooh. That may have to be reviewed, but Venom is now, he is now taking second position. And he's down 1.3 seconds back. I'm not sure what happened there between them two. If maybe Abdel overshot it a bit. Venom maybe got a little too excited. Have to see how that plays out. So now Egon has successfully taken 6th from Spider Team and is starting to build that gap. He is now 7/10 ahead of Spider. And we got a battle here for 10th between Green and Marchie Boy. Sorry about that. Green is trying to defend his position here. Both of them are on soft tires. Marchie Boy has a slight edge over Green. Marchie Boy's doing a wonderful job conserving his tires, keeping them alive. That way he can still maybe try and set up an overtake on Green. But Green looks like he is widening that gap. Benjo going into the pits. So we now have just over 24 minutes left until the end of the race. J-Rod has built a healthy lead of 18 seconds and just set the fastest lap of the race at a 2-minute 4.9 second lap. Talk about a blazing fast lap. Venom, meanwhile, his fastest lap was a 2:05.478. He's now 2.5 seconds ahead of Abdel. Abdel still holding a healthy lead though over Chevy, and that's going to be at 6.8 seconds. But Chevy has got soft tires, more fuel versus Abdel's medium tires, less fuel. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I see a battle starting to develop there late in the race. G-Bub is now 8.2 seconds behind Chevy. And we now have Igorski and Spider Team that are going to be duking it out for 7th position. Spider Team on mediums, Igorski on softs. So we'll take what we call here in Ohio a gander. Take a gander here and see what we've got going on. So Igorski clearly getting a better run there. Heading off into the beginning of Sector 2. He is now 0.3 of a second back from Spider Team. Make that 0.2 of a second. Is he going to try and maybe set up an overtake? Spider Team goes wide. Igorski trying to capitalize on it. They were going too wide heading into the little sets of turns here. Spider Team has now dropped down into 8th position. Igorski making a great pass there for 7th. Igorski is now building on that gap. He is now 0.8 of a second ahead of Spider Team with 21 minutes and 50 seconds left in the race. Meanwhile, Green, Marchie Boy, still duking it out. Green trying to get on the inside, trying to make the pass for 10th position. Or I should say Marchie Boy, my apologies. Marchie Boy and Green are too wide. But looks like they're dropping back there. Marchie Boy's going to be slotting behind Green. Heading into the set of turns here before the straight to Banky Boy. And Marchie Boy is... He did not get as good of a run as Green, but I think he might be able to catch up here. He is now out of the slipstream zone. I do see 2 people that are watching there. Hey, if you're watching, send a comment, say hi. Let's talk. But as of now, J-Rod, 20.8 second lead. Venom, and what happened? Abdel had the pit. Not sure what happened there. Ooh, looked like he got a little bit of damage there on that driver's front bumper and fender. So must have had a little bit of an incident there. That is going to drop him back into 9th. He is now 1 minute and 21 seconds behind J-Rod, with 20 minutes left in the race. NX still sitting pretty. J-Rod has got about 21 seconds ahead of Venom. Venom is about 11.4 seconds ahead of Chevy. G-Bub, meanwhile, he's just... I'm not saying he's doing bad. I mean, he's doing great. Given the strategy that he ran, running soft, starting from 14th and running as high as almost 3rd, or he was running 3rd for a little bit, and now he's only dropped down to 4th. So he's gained 10 positions in this race. So he is doing a fantastic job. Josh Montfort just commented, just watching the fun. There's a lot of fun going on, dude. I wish I was in this race, and I wish you were in the race also. I have never talked this much in my life and never commentated a race this intense in the whole time I've been with RWB or whoever. It's been awesome. So, whoa. What? I wonder what happened there. Unfortunately, I don't have a keyboard or anything to where I can turn back, you know, the clock or, you know, cover the last 60 seconds. But that gap between J-Rod and Venom has now closed. It was about 21 seconds. It's now dropped down to 14. So something must have happened to J-Rod there. Maybe he got a little bit loose, spun out. Not enough to really hurt him. Meanwhile, Venom, you know, he's just in the zone. He's in his own little world at the moment, running 2nd. You know, he's 14 seconds back from J-Rod, 12 seconds ahead of Chevy, so he's in a pretty safe spot, I would bet. Egon and Igorski, we do have a battle here starting to develop for 5th position. Igorski is on the move. He's now just about on Egon's heels. Egon's tires are starting to show signs of wear versus Igorski's, and if that's gonna play into the race or not, we're gonna find out here within the next few minutes, I would imagine, because Igorski has now closed the gap to about 0.7 of a second. Egon, though, getting a much better run into the straight, heading into Big Banky Boy. So the gap now is about 0.8 of a second. Looks to be climbing. Heading into the S's. And Chevy and I tend to find each other about now. Oh, see that? You're just rubbing salt on the wound, man. That's all you're doing at this point, because Chevy's running at a very pretty 3rd. So just think what would have happened if you raced. And Igorski pretty strong closing out. He is, you know, he's the kind of guy that's quiet and just kind of sneaks up on you. I think he was running as low as 10th or 11th in the beginning of the race, and now he is fighting for 5th. That just goes to show how, you know, how well he's doing at the moment. So it's nice to see stuff like that come up. You know, I did mention before how G-Bug, he started 14th. He's now in 4th position. He took a very risky strategy, and it's worked out to his advantage. So Egon, Igorski, this is the battle to watch here at the moment. We do have a gaggle of cars here in the back. So we got NX that is challenging Spider for 7th position. But who is... Oh, okay, Abdel's still running in 9th, but this is going to get good right here. And, oh! What just happened? Did Spider Team did he just completely overshoot that turn? Maybe got a little bit of a bump there from NX, but either way, NX is, he's gaining position. He's now 7th. Alright, and, oh, Igorski in the grass. Luckily, no damage, but that is going to set him back with 15 minutes to go in the race. He's now 2.8 seconds, 3 seconds back from Egon. Luckily, I don't see any kind of damage, though. He does have NX starting to gain on him, but NX's left front tire is cooked. It is done for. So Igorski's going to have to try and regain 3 seconds within the next 14 minutes and 45 seconds. Whew. Stuff is intense. J-Rod still holding steady at 14 seconds between him and Venom. Venom has now opened up that gap to Chevy, or yeah, opened up the gap between himself and Chevy to about 15 seconds. Chevy and G-Bub about 9 seconds. Egon still running in 5th after that incident with Igorski running wide there heading into the straights before Big Banky Boy. Ran into the grass, hit the wall. Luckily no damage, he could race on. And Exo, he is on the prowl. Let me tell you, he's a force to be reckoned with. I'll tell you that right now. He is a very fast racer. Now, does get a pretty good run heading into the middle of the second sector there. He's now 9/10, 8/10 back from Igorski. Igorski, meanwhile, he's slowly closing the gap to Egon. I don't know if it's going to be enough for him to, you know, make up that lost time and challenge Egon for that 5th spot. But let's take a look at NX here. See what he's got going on. What we got cooking. So NX has now closed the gap to about 4/10 of a second heading into the S's before the final sector. And what is he going to do? NX looks like he's getting a little bit excited heading into these last sets of turns. Braking way hard going in. And then heading into the last turn, you got a really good run off Igorski. It is now dropped down to 3/10, maybe 4/10 of a second. But Igorski's going to be seeing a whole lot of NX behind him because he is gaining off of that draft. So while this may be great for NX, this is going to be horrible for Igorski. Igorski is still trying to catch Egon for that 5th position, and NX pressuring him, trying to make attempts at overtaking is just going to slow his progress of catching that 5th position. And then I don't see any kind of battles there. Abdel. He has. I mean, that's one thing, man. NX has had a run of awful luck. I do agree with that, Josh. But, you know, he is also the kind that will bounce back. And make up positions in a heartbeat. So, he just got a great run heading into the straights. before the big banky boy? Are they going to go too wide? Going down the straights, NX has the inside line. They are side by side, heading into big banky boy. What's going to happen here? NX is going to take the inside and make that pass for 6th position. So meanwhile, while they were battling, Egon has now stretched that gap between himself and 6th place by about a second and a half. So he is now 4.9 seconds ahead of NX. Igorski, though, he is not going down without a fight with 10.5 minutes left in the race. So they're just going to be duking it out all race long for the rest of the race. But what worries me is the conditions of the tire for NX. While he made that very successful pass, he made that at the cost of his tires. So, speaking of which, Igorski getting a wonderful run here, heading into the first corner. They're going to go side by side, and NX gets, he does a great job defending. Now, meanwhile, I really don't see a lot of things going on here towards the back. Not really anything towards the front. I mean, we got J-Rod, Venom, Chevy, G-Bub, Egon, NX, Igorski, and they're the only two that are really battling. I'm still curious to see what happened to Spider Team there when he was battling NX. But this right here is what we need to see. Because NX just got a great run hanging into the straights before Big Banky Boy. And he is now widened that lead to about 9/10 of a second roughly. So Igorski clearly out of that slipstream zone. Can't really make any time up unless he can maybe outbrake NX or outmaneuver NX. So let's ride along here with Igorski and see what goes on behind one of the masterminds of the series' brain. And I do see the folks that are watching here. I know there's 3 of you guys watching. Come out and say hi. Comment. Like I said, if you want to say something about the league or the race, or if you're cheering for a driver, let me know. Comments will be displayed on the top right of the screen. Alright, so looks like Igorski is going to be making that pass there on NX. NX giving a kind of a love tap, letting him know he's still there. You know, he's still there to mess stuff up. And then we'll get a side-by-side view here, and NX just retakes that position like it's nobody's business. Heading into the straight here to Big Banky Boy. Looks like they're starting to finally catch up to Egon. Egon, meanwhile, is now only 2.6 seconds ahead of NX. At one point, he was 6 seconds ahead, so not sure what all went down there. Maybe he caught a little bit of grass, or he's realizing, you know, oh, well, crap, maybe I'm almost out of fuel. But look at Igorski. He's heading into the S's here, side by side. He's going to maybe try and defend that inside line, or not defend it, but you know, maybe try to overtake NX there. Doesn't work. They do hook up their get a little bit of a tap. We're only about 6 minutes left until the race ends, so things are definitely starting to heat up. Egon, though, has easily gained a second ahead of NX just due to all the battling there between 6th and 7th of NX and Igorski. So let's take a look here. Now we got another battle between Renegade and Marchie Boy. They're about 0.3 of a second. J-Rod, our race leader, is trying to get past them. Hopefully we don't have any kind of incidents here. Let's take a look. Make sure J-Rod gets past both Renegade, Marchie Boy, and looks to be maybe Toxic. Yep. And we're riding along the roof here of Toxic's car, and you can see the kind of crap that, the kind of stuff I should say, excuse my language, that J-Rod is dealing with. So that might be hurting J-Rod here, yeah, because that gap has now dropped down to 12 seconds. Is he going to get by all these cars? He's got past Toxic, he's got past Marchie Boy. Now he's got to get past Renegade. Renegade's going to take the outside, maybe allow J-Rod to get past him, and they're still fighting. But you know what? That has... Okay, so J-Rod is now officially went past. Marchie Boy's going to take, looks to be, I believe, 10th position. Or 11th, I should say. My apologies. He is now in 11th place over Renegade. And NX and Igorski are still battling it out. Spider Team look like... Or no, Abdel has got a penalty that he's got to bleed off. NX has now dropped down to 7th. Igorski is now 6th. He's got 4 seconds to make up in 4 minutes if he wants to catch Egon, who's running in 5th. Egon, his gas light is starting to flash. Looks like Igorski may just have enough. So, unofficially, for these two folks, we probably have about 2 laps left until the race ends. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes down there. I say with these folks, we're going to have about 2 laps left until the end of the race. Renegade should have lifted a bit somewhere. Yeah. And there's a driver in Division 1 by the name of Bipolar Express wrote a blue flag love letter, is what he calls it, describing all the blue flag rules, etiquette, so on and so forth. Might have to reintroduce that for the 3rd time. But Marchie Boy and Renegade are just going at it with each other, just battling it out as teammates. Meanwhile, let's take a look here at the front. Sorry about switching all different views there. J-Rod, he is now 11 seconds ahead of Venom. Venom is now 23 seconds ahead of Chevy. Chevy is ahead by about, I believe, 23 seconds. We're going to have 2 laps to go for J-Rod and Venom. Yeah, 2 laps to go. For looks to be mainly everybody. I know Egon is probably going to have 1 lap to go after this. G-Bug may have, well, he may have 2 laps to go. But Egon right now sitting pretty there in 5th position. Igorski is now sitting pretty in 6th. He's now 3.9 seconds ahead of NX. Looks to me like NX just used way too much fuel, too much tire. Like I said, that left front is cooked. That is allowing Spider Team to catch up to NX there. Hopefully take 7th position. Or I shouldn't say hopefully, but in Spider's mind, hopefully he could take that 7th spot. Spider Team, though, he is on the offensive. He is trying to get past NX. Heading into the last turn. This is going to be their final lap. Is Spider Team going to get a good run? Does it look like it? Well, no. No, Spider Team taking that inside line. Clearly had more grip than NX. And Spider Team is now side by side with NX going into the first turn. What is NX going to do? He's taking the inside. Spider Team gets past it with no issues whatsoever. Let's take a look at our race leader here. This is going to be his final lap here, coming up, as well as Venom and Chevy. G-Bub looks like this may be his last lap, as well as Egon, Igorski, Spider Team, NX, Abdel, Green, Marchie Boy, Renegade, Toxic, and Benjo. So we're going to ride along here with J-Rod, who is still 11 seconds ahead of Venom. Venom's still running in second, Chevy third, G-Bub fourth, Egon fifth, Igorski sixth, Spider Team seventh, NX eighth. There's your top 8. J-Rod heading into the turn there. Let's see if Spider Team, yep, he is still maintaining that lead over NX. This is going to be their last lap of the race. And looks to be G-Bub's last lap of the race as well. So G-Bub's going to come home in fourth. Which, like I said, I think that's a really impressive job. You know, considering you started last. You made a very risky move starting on softs. Climbing up. Ooh, J-Rod getting into the grass a little bit. But for G-Bub climbing as high as third, settling for fourth. That's a great race. J-Rod already flashing his lights. Wasn't flashing yet. You still got just less than half a lap to go. You're 11.9 seconds ahead of Venom. So Egon's going to be finishing 5th, Igorski 6th, Spider Team 7th, NX 8th. And then it'll be Abdel, Green, Marchie, Renegade, Toxic, Benjo. But this is the man of the race. This is the driver of the race. Coming into the last turn, he was so far behind. Ooh, with a penalty. He's got to bleed that off, but still. He had a brilliant strategy. Started on mediums, was on softs. Out-conserved fuel and tire, and he takes the win. Venom is going to be coming home in second. Great result. Chevy will be coming home in third. Coming around the last set of corners here. Chevy ran a great race, all race long. And Chevy brought it home in third. And there's your final order. And there's your race winner, RWB J-Rod. It is an RWB 1-2-3 finish. Good job to the team. What a race. What a race. I tell you what, it was heated in the beginning. Stayed heated all race long. We had battles everywhere. Not only did J-Rod finish first, he has now set the fastest lap of the race at a 2:04.898. So there is your order. Make sure I take a screenshot there. Screenshot. Right on. So I do want to give a huge thanks to everybody that came out, watched the race. Josh, thanks for commenting. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot to endure with commentating. I haven't done this in a while. But what a race. I loved it. It was just excitement everywhere. I got to see some beautiful overtakes, some brilliant strategies. So that's gonna wrap it up. Huge thanks to Detailing Group and Dave Ball for sponsoring this series. And thanks for everyone, or thanks to everyone that came out, watched, had fun, and thanks to all the racers. So long, guys, and race hard and race clean.